Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Super Mario Maker 2 podcast. I am one of your four hosts, Eric. Joining me will be Just Random, who you may also know as OK.
Yeah, I'm here.
Next, we have Beta Bros YT, who is an awesome streamer.
Hello.
And finally, we have Neagle, one of the top metal grinders for our fourth and final host. So for the first topic of today, we are going to discuss the state of Mario Maker 2. I'll start first. So my thoughts of the game at the moment is the game seems to be going downhill very fast. There are a lot of players moving on, and etc. Likely because the game, one, hasn't been updated since I think last April. April of 2020, excuse me. And, that's a big push away for a game like this, where, one, you're playing levels, and two, you're building levels. It's the main focus of the game. The problem with it is just Nintendo. They really didn't seem to care about the game. And for someone like me, who's a big fan of Mario Maker 2, it really disappointed me. But I think there are a lot of ways that this game could go on to be very good. And there's been a lot of things great with this game. We've had popular page is a big part of it. I love Kaiser levels. I love the team levels. Team Precision's great. We have Team Shell who's great. Team Pipe, basically Team Shell. And we have Team Jamp. Great spots for this game. And slowly have kept this game, in my opinion, alive, as those communities have very well made this game the way it is.
My thoughts on SMM2 at the moment is that the game isn't 100% dead, but it is kind of, you can tell that people are leaving. There's a lot of people that have left. There are still a lot of people that play, but it's not what it once was. Back when the game first came out, there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people playing. Now, still a lot, but it's not. It could be better. Definitely could be better, and it's more probably due to Nintendo basically banning in the game. You don't see no new ninja. You don't see no. You don't see nothing. You don't see any updates or anything. And they could add something like we have this Super Worlds thing in like the course world. It's barely used. They could have like world codes or something. I don't know. But they could add something, anything, and people would come back. But they haven't done that. I don't know why. But yeah,
Okay, so overall, this game is dying because of really nobody's really playing it anymore, and nobody really has interest in it. And from what I've seen, there is really no popularity of this game, or speaking of, nobody's even speaking of the game really. And the only time I see this game is in my recommended page on YouTube. So really, the only thing that this game has a problem with is dying. No updates, no nothing. Nintendo hasn't talked about it in like years, and the players are dropping like really fast. And that's really it.
Well, the game is kind of dead because like Nintendo just left it there with nothing. One day they were like, "Hey, do you want an update?" Everyone like hype. Then a few months later they come back with another one, and people are like, "When does the third one coming?" And it was like, "Never, never coming." And like they just stopped it right there after two. Like doesn't really make sense to give up a game that had six hopes and leave it there with just two updates. There were so many things they could have done, like add new styles, even though it was like the same style as SMD3 a very similar one. It still could have been fun, even though it wouldn't be very new. Same goes for the ninjas. Like only 20 is not enough. It was something very fun and competitive. Really like when it was happening, people were very active in the game and people were trying their best. And to be honest, I had a lot of fun. even though I only joined the game, half of them are were already dead. But like, really a missed opportunity about Nintendo. Like, we could have had new power-ups. So many are already existing. The ice tower, the penguin suit, so many of them. The Tanuki suit, the armor suit, and like so many enemies. The fuzzy, the fireball. Like, they really missed an opportunity, and I really hope they don't do that with Mario Maker 3 or like Nintendo really hates me.
Okay, well, let's begin the topic. Number two, our thoughts and possible reviving of this game. So my thoughts are very mixed on this game possibly being revived in the future, uh, because this game is definitely going downwards. A lot of players are moving on, and it's very saddening because this game is still really cool. It's still one of my favorite games possibly ever made, and it's still a very enjoyable game. But there are still what people don't look at, and a lot of great things with this game, and things that have kept it at a steady float as not a total, deep dive from where this game might have gone without these said teams. Team Pipe, Team Precision, Team Jamp, Team Shell have kept this game steadily going, in my opinion. There are so many players in these teams, so many levels, and it's really what's made this game really cool. Is just because there's such communities that make very tough levels, but also very enjoyable levels. Some of those levels you'll play, made by those players and made by those teams, are some of the best levels in this game. There's no denying it. And something too that has really kept this game going, the 6-year Mario Maker levels. Those are very good. 5-year Mario Maker levels were excellent. I'm assuming 4-year Mario Maker levels were excellent. Like, those have definitely kept this game at a very steady float, because those are excellent. Some of those levels I played have reminded me of what this game is. It's still great. You still have a lot of really cool makers in this game. And, that's really my thoughts on the game possibly being revived.
So basically, this game is pretty dead, and it's not really a surprise. This game has been out for like I don't know 2 years, three, five, and there's been no so far barely any updates. So people are leaving and stuff, and like left and right. And I think that if people would probably do more events and community things, like how SMM 6 years of Mario Maker, that went really good. There was a bunch of cool levels, but that really brought the community together. And I think that if people would do more things like that, people would this game would have more players than usual. And if it had more players than usual, it can be a better community. Yeah, that's what I think.
For my personal opinion, I don't think SMM2 will be revived. To be honest, the only way will be Nintendo to update the game another time, but I don't think they will. I don't just think they gave up the game. They just don't want to use it anymore. Kind of like if they didn't thought the game was good and just left it there. I think this community will be dead for some time, but then if it ever comes, SMN3 will bring back the community together. But I really hope Nintendo doesn't do the same thing and doesn't like do the same thing with SMN2 to SMN3. That I wouldn't be very happy if they do the same mistakes over and over again. But this community, I think it's for SMM2, it's kind of dead, and there's nothing we can really do about it. And I think it's a brand new game that will really help. Or maybe not SMM3, but maybe a Zelda America or Kirby. Maybe. Yes, not the same people will be interested because some people like Mario, but other doesn't like it and prefer Kirby. So different people will be in it. But it's kind of like the same kind of game, so maybe the same people will be at it. or new people, but that will change the community a lot. And I think whatever we do, SM2 or whatever it will be, will never be the same as it was.
In my opinion, SMM2 will probably not be will ever really get revived. Reason I think that is because of the 5-year MM, 6-year MM, and all those. It was supposed to bring people back. It did bring some people back, but then they bring a lot of people back. So in my opinion, I don't think it's ever gonna really get big, like at all again. There's no real way to revive it. They might be able to push the player numbers up a little, like with certain events. Like at Christmas times, of course, the player number's going to rise. Same with maybe summer, certain times of the year. I think last year you'd be seeing like so many people playing it because of COVID and all. But now that that's for the most part out of the way, we see the player numbers kind of drop down to what you'd probably see in maybe SMM1. Though I do feel like SMM2 is still more popular than SMM1 was at this time, though I might be wrong about that. I didn't play a lot of SMM1, but I must say SMM2 isn't like it still has an opportunity to possibly rise, but it will not rise a lot. If it does,
Alright, well, that about does it. Thank you all for tuning in on the very first episode of the Super Mario Maker 2 podcast. The links to the hosts will be in the description if you would like to go check them out. Have a good one from us, the four hosts.